standing afterwards for the chalice lighting. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing in my soul. Go, Robert.
Good morning. I'm John LaBarbera. My pronouns are he, they, and I am your worship associate today. Thank you. Join me as we recite our covenant and Blake and Georgia light our chalice. If you're watching remotely and have a chalice with you, please light it with us. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to share our strength in fellowship, thus do we covenant. Please be seated.
Good morning. Woo, what a morning we have for you. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Phoenix. No matter where you come from, how you worship, how you identify, no matter who you are welcome here. Welcome home. Welcome to worship. Welcome as we explore being generous and having gratitude and being in community. I'm the Reverend Christine Dance. My pronouns are she and her, and it is an honor to serve as the minister of this congregation. It is the joyful day to celebrate the generosity of this community with the kickoff of our stewardship campaign and to explore generosity as one of our new UU principles. The Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Phoenix strives to be a spiritual community for our time, one that is theologically diverse, radically inclusive, and justice-centered. If you are new here, and I met a bunch of you, we are so glad that you found us. Each Sunday is different, so come back and try something next week. It will be totally different, or kind of different, or maybe somewhat the same, but we're always changing. If you are new and willing and able, would you be willing to stand so that we can see who you are? We would love to recognize you. Welcome. We are so glad you are here. And for anyone who's new or has been here for a little while, if you want to learn more about our congregation, please join us for a Get to Know UUCP session immediately following the service in room 11 today. We do have a few things going on in the congregation. We have a ton of things going on in the congregation, but I want to make sure that you all know about the ordination of our own Brigida Vieira here on March 16th. That's a Saturday at 2 p.m. And we hope that you will come. It's going to be joyous and fun as we make a new minister, but also there's an opportunity for a potluck, so please think about what you might want to bring for food. And if you can let us know if you're going to participate, there's an announcement in Compass. And next week, Reverend Patrice Curtis's class on the UUA Common Read, which is called On Repentance and Repair, it is phenomenal. That class starts next week. I promise you will be changed from it. So now let us draw deeper into the present moment and into our worship. Take a deep breath, settle into this space.
Our opening words are from Katie Savani Gelfand. She's the Director of Religious Exploration at the First Unitarian Universalist Church of New Orleans. We light our chalice as a symbol of gratitude as we celebrate the abundance of our lives together. In this sanctuary, we harvest bushels of strength for one another and offer our crop with the hands of compassion and generosity. In the authentic and gentle manner of our connections, we cultivate a simple sweetness to brighten our spirits. May we be grateful for the ways we nourish and uplift each other, for it is the sharing of this hallowed time together that sustains us. I now invite anyone who'd like to come forward.
John Palumbo first for Stewardship Moment.
John Palumbo, Stewardship Moment. Come on up here.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is John Palumbo. My pronouns are he, him, and I have the privilege to be the lead of the stewardship team this year.
Yeah.
This year's theme is growing your UUCP garden. UUCP is truly a lush, vibrant garden which we get to enjoy the beautiful colors, delightful scents, and nourishing fruits and vegetables. Whether you are drawn to UUCP because of the wonderful Sunday services, the excellent children's ministry, the excellent adult ministry programs, just for communion with each other, or the many other activities that we are doing in the church and in the community, it is a garden for you to take advantage of. So you may be wanting beautiful green plants to take away the cut of the desert, or you may love the desert and want your cactuses. Whatever is your garden, we have it here at UUCP. But we can't grow this garden without you. And so this is why we do stewardship. We ask you to give back because we need those supplies. We need that water. We need that fertilizer. We need the tools and the workers that care for our garden. Without it, our garden will wilt away and will not be this beautiful community that we have. So I'm here to ask for you to participate in your pledge, and you can go to phoenixuu.org and click on the stewardship, and our tech team, part of our wonderful garden, made it amazingly easy. There is a button right there that says make your pledge. And so you click on that button, you follow the instructions. We'll also have paper documents. If you're a little old-fashioned like me, you can fill it out on paper. But it's much easier if you do it online. It will save a step. It will make it easier for you. You can even program in automatic payments, so then you don't have to worry about it, because if you're like me, you forget anything that is not in your calendar. And then you scramble to get your pledge in. So they've made it as easy as possible for you. Again, go to UUCP.org, click on the stewardship, and make your pledge. And one last thing that I will say, the reason that I have stepped up to be the lead of the stewardship team, which is a very difficult thing for me because I hate asking for money. I mean, I really do, and I hate people asking me for money. It just doesn't feel right. But this garden has meant so much to me and my family that I'm willing to feel a little dirty inside asking for money. Because it's that important to me, and I hope it's that important to you. So thank you very much. Again, go to UUCP.org, phoenixuu.org, and make your pledge as soon as you can. Thank you very much.
I have no problem talking about money. I'm really good about it. If that's, I mean, is that dirty? I feel very clean and able to talk about money. I would love to welcome up our children to the front of the sanctuary for a very special ritual that we have. Bunny and Chris Seashore, yep, you're right there. Wonderful. If you all can be right there, maybe, I was just going to say, maybe if we can leave this space right here clear, because we've got some very special people who are going to come up and join us this morning. So it is time for a very important ritual in the life of our congregation. For those of you who have been here before, when we bring out roses and a book, what does that mean we're going to get to do? Yeah. We're going to welcome new members into our community. Isn't that awesome? It is always an exciting time in the life of our congregation to go through the formal process of welcoming new members. Now, we use members very loosely. We all say that we're members of this community, but there is also a special designation of capital M members, people who have said, yes, I want to commit myself to this congregation. I want to give a financial pledge. I have gone into either a class, a coming of age, or have met with me, and that I want to sign this official-looking book that dates back to 1600s Congregationalism, but it still feels important to sign it. So I have 13 people on our list. If you are on, if you think, right? And we have 2 others who are not able to be here, so we already know that we've got 2 in the next. And if I don't have you on your list, but you went, oh, I thought I was becoming a member today too, please come on up. We're ready for you. So I'd like to welcome up Jessica Pineda, Nick Pineda, Greg Ludlow, Mary Margaret McGee, come on up, Jim Murphy, John LaBarbera, Natasha LaBarbera, Lucy Thompson, Denise Kuhn, Kate Freeman, Joetta Miller, Rob Katz, and Marlene Katz. Yay! Yay, Felix! Yes. And you need a microphone. Thanks.
Thank you. My name is Bunny Hodis. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the president of your board of trustees.
I told you. I will call you out specifically. I told you.
It is an honor to welcome our newest members and celebrate their decision to join our community. In their intention to be members, they made a commitment of time and talent and financial support to this congregation.
Good morning. I'm Chris Seashore, the lead of the welcoming team. How apt it is that I'm able to welcome you to your new journey as members of UUCP. Just a year ago, I stood right where you are today, not realizing how engaging and enthusiastic this community really is. I was hooked, and I hope you will be too. We look forward to getting to know you and your talents, your history, and your connections as you will learn more about us as we journey. We each come from diverse and perhaps far-flung places, but we gather here to travel together, finding courage, hope, comfort, and mostly, always love. Welcome.
And I want to make sure that I welcome Nigel Perez onto that list. That was my mistake. It was an ad that he was very intentional to say this morning, and I didn't write it down. And you all know how I am about writing it down. Welcome, Nigel. It is a joy to welcome each of you as a member into our community. Becoming a member of this congregation is an important step, but it is only a first step. I encourage you to grow your religious life and to explore and share your unique gifts. New members, as you are able and willing, please recite the words of commitment to membership. They will be on the screen right here. If you've never been up this way, you now know that there's a magic screen that we get to see on this side, so everyone can know what you're saying. And can we have those words up, Danny? So, new members, will you journey together with us, sharing the joys and the responsibilities of membership?
Yes, we joyfully commit ourselves to this congregation and to support its mission. We understand that membership comes with the responsibility of respect and the opportunity for growth. We look forward to joining you to build a stronger community.
Yay!
If I didn't have my new glasses, I wouldn't have been able to read that. Members of the congregation,
Felix, do you want to stand here?
we ask you to say the words after this. Whether you are at home or here, we wish for you to stand and say it. Those at home, we can hear you, and you can also write yes into the chat. Will you reach out to these people in friendship, including them in your activities and fellowship? Will you walk with them on their religious journey? Will you be open to their unique gifts and services and perspectives? Will you extend a warm welcome to each of them, remembering that each of you was once a new member? Yes. We all align our strengths, talents, and commitments with yours. You are part of us, and we are part of you.
You may be seated. Okay, now I want all of the children and youth to stand up. Yes, if you are childlike and if you want to stay, I mean, that's all of us too. But this is a specific role for our children and youth as well. So our youth, these, do you want to stand up and be part of this? Do you know what you need to say? I'll give you a hint. It's yes. Okay, you ready? Okay, well, wait, hold on. So youth of our congregation, these are the new members of our congregation. They are like you in that they represent our future and our possibility. Will you receive them into our community? Will you show them how things work around here? And will you encourage their involvement in growth? If so, please say loudly, yes. Yes! Good job! Awesome. As we welcome you, new members, we give you each a rose. I like to use roses in both our new member and our child dedication rituals. They are beautiful. They are all slightly different. Some come with thorns. Some are perfectly clean. And we like to tell you that the work of community is both beautiful and challenging. We do not promise there will not be bumps in the road, but we do promise that we will be here to do it together. Ours is a shared ministry to help each other find meaning in life and to build a just and compassionate life and world, working to fulfill the vision and mission of this congregation. So as we say your name, if you will come get your rose from Chris and sign the membership book with Bunny if you haven't already. If it takes you a minute to sign it and there's a backup, it's okay. It's all right. We don't all have to be perfect. All right? Let's start with Nigel Perez. And you can get a rose. Congratulations. And who we've got? Natasha La Barbera. Yeah, Felix, do you want a rose? Yeah. And I've got different, yeah. It's all good. Oh yeah, what is the date? March 3rd. I'm just going to go through the names so that we can recognize them and give them a huge round of applause while they do this. John, oh, after I'm done. No, you need to come on up here, Jessica. It's your moment. So we've got Nigel and Natasha, John La Barbera. Mary Margaret McGee. Welcome. So glad you're here. Thank you. Jim Murphy, welcome. So glad you're here with us. Denise Kuhn, I said that right? Kuhn? That's right, thank you. Welcome, Denise, thank you. Lucy Thompson. Thank you, welcome. Thank you. Welcome. Greg Ludlow. Well, we'll do this and then do that. Welcome. Thank you. Yes. Marlene Katz. Right? I'm so glad you're here. Rob Katz. Yeah, I know. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Nick Pineda. Welcome. Thank you. Jessica Pineda. Thank you.
I'm glad I did.
And Knox and Matthew. As they receive their roses and sign their books, can we give them a rousing round of applause and welcome? And children, thank you so much for your help with that. They are going to continue to sign the books, and we've got some music, but you may go back to your seats. Thank you so much for your help. Congratulations. Nigel, congratulations. So proud of you. Welcome. Absolutely. Oh dear. Okay. Okay.
Good morning. My name is Jessica Elder, and my pronouns are she, her. The choir will be singing In Meeting We Are Blessed by Troy Robertson. This song lifts up friendship that endures all of life's comings and goings, and the peace we experience in caring for one another. And we are joined by Vicki Myers on the djembe. And Christine Kine on the piano.
goodness, we are so lucky to have a choir that you can not only hear, but you can feel. Oh, it's wonderful. Great, great job. Thought I'd find my place by now, but I will get there. Each week, we split our offering between this congregation and an organization that shares our values. For March 2024, this is the first Sunday in March. I can't believe it's March already. Our Share the Plate partner is Homeless ID Project. This organization, in operation since 1988, helps people who are unhoused or recently released from incarceration replace their IDs. An ID is necessary to apply for a job and permanent housing, to enroll children in school, to receive non-emergency medical care, and to receive many services provided to the unhoused. It is a first step in helping people end homelessness. On an average day in 2023, Homeless ID Project program staff saw 90 clients, provided 60 documents, replacement IDs and birth certificates primarily, and safely stored vital documents for 25 individuals. In 2023, the Homeless ID Project assisted 22,846 clients, resulting in the successful replacement of 15,622 documents. Homeless ID is based in Maricopa and Pima counties. For all that you give, we are so grateful. Ushers, thank you all for your willing hands in helping us pass the plate.
It is an important practice in this community to make time to share our joys and sorrows with each other in community. Sharing them together, we can amplify our joys and lessen our burdens. If you are on Zoom, you can share a joy or sorrow in the chat. If you are here, there are sheets in the back. I will read out what has been shared today. As we open this sacred time in community, let us open our hearts to the joys and sorrows and have those that remain in our hearts. Let's honor them all with a moment of stillness. I have a joy from Jennifer Davey on behalf of Isabel Davey. Isabel took part of her school's musical production of Beauty and the Beast yesterday and Friday. She was amazing and nailed her role. Congratulations, Isabel. We have a great joy from Kathy Kopak. Our beloved English bulldog Winston survived surgery for removal of a toy from his small intestine. He's doing very well. And Winston, no more small toys for food. We have a joy from Sam Kirkland. My better half has returned from a 3-week visit to help out with her mother's care. So glad she was able to go, and so happy she's home. And we have a concern from Brad Chapman, who's right there in the back. Brad says, I will be having surgery for an enlarged prostate on Thursday, March 7th. Your thoughts and healing energy is appreciated. You have it from all of us, and we're setting up a meal train if anyone wants to help Brad for a few weeks. From Ann Lackey online, says, my daughter Jen placed first in the women's division in a 50-mile race. So proud of her. So are we, Anne. We're so proud of her as well. From Danny in our booth, has an update on my dad. His chemo has been a success, not technically in remission, but he is now eating, drinking, and becoming way more independent. We're so glad to hear that, Danny. For all of our joys and sorrows, those named here, and those, oh, there's one more. They keep coming, and I want to make sure I include them all. From Nancy Drago online. Nancy says, the joy is having discovered this congregation at this time in my life. And a sorrow is I live with active alcoholism, not mine, but it is so hard, but faith helps. Nancy, welcome, and we are so glad that we can be part of your community as well. So for all of our joys and our sorrows, we give our love, we share them with our folks online. We remember that we are one community, and we are so glad to be together. Let us take this moment to enter into the spirit of meditation and prayer. There are so many people who are hurting and worrying and struggling. So many of us are celebrating and in awe. Some of us are doing both at the same time. Let us soften our body, settle into our seats, and be in the here and now for this meditative time. We have a song that we sing that is about gratitude and generosity. We will be using it for our meditation today.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
Spirit of love, Spirit of life, we receive so much from this world. From the earth, we get the mountains, the emerging wildflowers of the desert, the animals, the beautiful sunsets and sunrises, the warm weather, and the gentle breezes. Let us, with our breath and our bodies, connect with the nature around us to fill us up when we are depleted and to raise us up further when we are buoyant. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From this community we receive so much support, a place to grow as human beings, getting to know 13 new members today, fascinating people from whom we can learn about life, spirituality, love, and loss. In this community, we get friends and connection and a place to practice how to live with morality and integrity in the world. We get a place to put down our biggest burdens and a place to celebrate our greatest joys in community. We are so lucky. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. In this season of giving, may we deeply understand the power of gratitude and generosity. May we recognize all of the ways that we give spiritually, of our time, of our expertise, and yes, of our money. We are so grateful for all that is given so that this community can exist. We are grateful for this beautiful building, for our amazing staff, for what we create in order to grow, and how we teach our children. We are so grateful for the generosity of this congregation. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. Yes, together we share, and from this we live. This week, may we recognize what we share. This week, may we live from our deepest place of integrity. This week, may we send our energy to those who are hurting in this community, in our country, and in our world. May we live knowing that nothing is promised, and that it is in our giving that we create a better congregation, a better community, and a better world. May we, together in community, share our prayer, our gratitude, our commitment, and our song one more time. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. So might it be.
Generosity as a virtue can be experienced in so many ways. By giving our time, our energy, our talents, our resources, and more or less expecting nothing in return. In a nutshell, generosity is kindness. And kindness is a choice. But it's not just a choice we can make only once. It's a practice. And if you know me long enough, You'll often hear me say, kindness is a practice. I am practicing kindness. Because it can be a skill, like carpentry and welding. Just instead of using our hands, we're using our hearts. Doctors practice medicine. Attorneys practice law. They're not perfect at it. And we don't have to be perfect with our kindness and generosity. But we do need to be intentional about it. Charles Darwin observed that humans are wired for compassion and kindness, and even suggested that that instinct may be more apparent than physical strength. But it can be difficult to get going on this path to practice, especially if you've never been shown much kindness from those around you. Where do you start? Well, you start by showing yourself kindness. Once we're able to accept our own kindness, it becomes easier to accept it from others. Then it becomes easier to extend that kindness out. Kindness begets kindness begets kindness. It's expansive and it's beautiful.
Calling out to hungry hearts, calling out to hungry hearts, calling out to hungry hearts, calling out to hungry hearts. Calling out to hungry hearts, everywhere through endless time. You wander, you thirst, I offer you this holy mind. Calling out to hungry hearts, everywhere through endless time. You wander, you thirst, I offer you this holy mind. Calling out to hungry spirits, everywhere through endless time. Calling out to hungry hearts, all the lost and left behind. Gather round and share this meal, your joy and your sorrow, I make it mine.
Generosity. There's a lot packed into that word. At its face value, to be generous of spirit can feel watered down. We need to look at it on a whole bunch of different levels. It's way more than the unmeasurable nice. It is definitely the kindness that John spoke of it. But I believe that generosity is also transformative. What if being generous changed us? Yeah, I know. You thought you were going to be hearing about how giving of your time and your spirit, and specifically your money, changes UUCP. But I want to talk about how it changes you, how it changes me. That's the theme we're discussing today as part of our sermon series of the new values that are being proposed by the Unitarian Universalist Association. These new values would replace our 8 principles that have been around since, well, some version of the 7, 6 of them, it's complicated, have been around since 1985. Each month we're exploring a different principle. Each principle has a one-word handle, a one-sentence description, and then a covenant and call to action. We have already explored love at the center and pluralism and equality and justice. And for March, we are exploring generosity. Is it a coincidence that we're exploring it during Stewardship Month? Maybe. Let's see what this value is. Generosity. We cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. We covenant to freely and compassionately share our faith, presence, and resources. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. Will you read it out with me, starting with the word? Generosity. We cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. We covenant to freely and compassionately share our faith, presence, and resources. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. Maya Angelou said, "I have found that among its other benefits, giving liberates the soul of the giver." By giving, we are liberating our own soul. Generosity is not just giving to somebody else, it is the enlarging of your own heart. It is the expansion, the opening of our hearts. And true generosity has a vulnerability to it. In order to expand our hearts and generosity, we need to open ourselves up to connection, to change, to truly seeing each other, to that giving and the receiving. Our new UU principle isn't just about giving financially. No, financial giving is just one way we are generous. It says that generosity is a spirit of gratitude and hope. Liberal religion, one of the things that defines it is the inherent optimism that change can come, that we are not doomed, that together we can make change. That spirit of gratitude and hope. It is not just giving to a congregation. It's not just writing a check. It is sharing with each other. It is sharing our faith, our presence, and our resources. It is a way to freely connect ourselves with one another. So let me ask a quick informal poll. How many of you came from a religious tradition where you were expected to tithe? Did too. Oh, that's a bit more than I was expecting. It was a tradition, if you don't know tithing, where 10% of your income was expected. Did anyone have something, of those of you all, did any of your faith communities or those of your parents ask to see income numbers to know how to calculate that? Yeah. I left that kind of religion before I was an adult making any kind of income they could see. But I know my grandparents had to show their W-2 each year in their Southern Baptist tradition. And my father, who was an accountant, made sure that his tithe was exactly 10% and not a penny more. And he made it on net, not gross. Now, this is not who we are and what we are. As you heard from our youth last week, we are in covenant with each other. We are voluntarily sharing our time, our talents, and our finances. The line from our value is that we are generous in our relationships of interdependence and mutuality. We give because we are connected, and we mutually give to each other by choice. You'll see our new pulpit decorations here by our amazing Georgia and Marlene, and there are fish this month. And Georgia told me a great story. How many of you are familiar of Jesus with the loaves and fishes and the miracle? It's a great one, right? It's a great miracle. And Georgia had said that when she was in her 30s, she realized that maybe that wasn't a miracle. Maybe it was that everyone just showed up with one fish and one loaf, and they had a miracle of abundance showing up in interdependence and mutuality. Maybe it is we who create the miracles of generosity and abundance. So let me be clear on what is happening now. This is the beginning of our pledge month. A pledge is not saying, here's all my money, here's a check, here's what it is. It is a statement of intent. It is a statement of this is what I intend and hope to give in the fiscal year 2025. Clarify that. That starts July 1 of 2024 and goes through the end of June of 2025. You have that whole time to pay it. Your pledge that you're making this week helps us to budget for that year. We already have a first draft budget. It's a solid budget. It is of $610,000. Liz, for perspective, last year we were at $595,000. And because of your generosity, it looks like the pledges you made last year are going to result in that full $595,000. Thank you. Thank you. In fact, the 4 years that I've been here, it's uncanny that how much you say you're going to give equals how much you end up giving. Yes, there are people who leave, and there are people who we've lost in this congregation, and there are new people who come in, but that number is pretty uncannily accurate, and it allows us to plan. It allows us to know how to staff. This year, it helps us to know that we can cover the 12% increase we got in our staff's health care costs. That's where a lot of that increase is going. For the most part, it's a stable budget from this year. Your pledge is step one. And if you do it in March, we don't have to find you. And you all, John Palumbo is doing this with so much on his plates, and he is doing this without a lot of help. Please help him. Just push your damn button. Just do it. You can do it, right? Like everyone says, oh, I forgot. Is March over? It's March now, okay? Just push the button. Just tell us. Now there's a second button there. The second button is to help you set up your payment so that that pledge can happen. It has to happen in 2 steps. You make the plan, and then you figure out, you set up your payment for it to happen. Those are the 2 steps. Easy, simple, easy peasy. Month of March, button. Got it? Got it. That's the logistics. I told you I was very comfortable doing this. And I used the word damn in church. Also wouldn't happen with the Southern Baptists, just to be clear. I almost gleefully said it. I did. No, it was totally gleeful. It was totally gleeful saying it. Now, some of us can give a lot, and some of us can only give a little. I like to say that we should give a responsible pledge. We should give enough that it feels generous, but it should be responsible for your personal situation, and only you get to figure out what that is right for your family. It is not me, it is not a committee, and it is certainly not a God that we may or may not believe in that has the right to judge us in our giving. Generosity is personal. In some ways, we have it harder than those who are forced to tithe. For them, they just have an outside force that says, show me your numbers, it's 10%, here's your bill. For us, we have to look deep inside, we have to look into our budgets, we have to look into our hearts, we have to figure out what this community means to us. We are the only ones who can decide what generosity means and what this community means, and what spiritual growth means. Now, I have a tradition here in the pulpit that I like to share how much I pledge, because I believe that it takes the mystery out of our money and normalizes it and makes it transparent. Karen and I started 5 years ago, almost, by giving $4,500 a year. That was 5% of my income, as we voluntarily tithe, and we give the other 5% to other causes that are important to us. But none of these causes are the ones where we get our spiritual growth, our community, an opportunity to live into our values on a weekly basis, and the most amazing people that we get to interact with. Only our religious community gives us that. We have increased our giving each year, and last year we gave more to the Close the Gap initiative. This year we are taking the amount that we pledged for the Close the Gap, incorporating that into this year's pledge, and we are increasing our pledge by 6% and giving a yearly pledge of $5,760. Now, I recognize that my wife Karen and I have a level of privilege that not everyone has. Our kids are out of school and out of the house, and our dogs do have very expensive food tastes. But we are lucky to have the resources available to us. Honestly, I think we're getting a darn bargain. We're getting spiritual growth and a religious community for our time at a bargain price. We are growing our UUCP garden because, my beloveds, our world needs all of us. And I can't get through this world without you. While the world is cultivating fear, we are growing a garden of inclusivity. We are growing up through the rocks and the thorns and trying to grow our tent to be more and more welcoming, opening our hearts as we do that. The forces that would want us to feel hate and feel fear are threatened. We know this by the rhetoric that is coming out through politicians' stump speeches and legislations in both our House, our community, and our national legislature. I know it from the vile words and ideas that are left on voicemails from people who know our values. We got another one 2 weeks ago. They are threatened by us. That means we're doing a good job. In this election year, I know what I am standing for as a Unitarian Universalist. I know who is standing with me, and I know why I am standing for it. And I know that it matters, especially here in Phoenix. No matter the forces that are afraid of the progressive change that we envision, we will not turn back. We will not turn back on the rights for our LGBTQ and trans beloveds, including my own marriage. We will not turn back on our understanding of racism and white privilege. We will not turn back to historically misogynistic ideals. We will not turn back to making fun of people with any kind of disability. We will not disregard the humanity of anyone, from migrants crossing the borders to the over 30,000 people who have died in Gaza since October. We will not go back. And I need this congregation to do that work with. I can't do it on my own, and I don't want to. And while my idealism believes that love is all we need, my pragmatism knows that we also need to pay for this building and our staff and our health care increases and the things like toilet paper and copy paper and books and Zoom accounts. I share these sentiments of Reverend John Wolfe on why we attend and join and why we give to our Unitarian Universalist congregation. There is only one reason for joining a UU congregation, he says. That is to support it. You want to support it because it stands against superstition and fear, because it points to what's noblest and best in human life, because it is open to people of whatever race, creed, color, or national origin. You want to support a UU congregation because it has a free pulpit, because you can hear ideas expressed which would cost any other minister their job. You want to support it because it is a place where children can come without being saddled with guilt or terrified of some celestial peeping Tom, where they can learn that religion is for joy, comfort, for gratitude, and love. You want to support it because it is a place where walls between people are torn down instead of built up, because it is a place for the religious displaced people of our time, the refugees from mixed marriages, the unwanted free thinkers, and those who insist against orthodoxy that they must work out their own beliefs. You want to support a Unitarian Universalist congregation because it is more concerned with human beings than with dogmas, because it searches for the holy rather than dwelling upon the depraved, because it calls no one a sinner, yet knows how deep the struggle and how great the hunger is for what is good. You want to support a Unitarian Universalist congregation because it can laugh, because it insults neither your intelligence nor your conscience, and because it calls you to worship what is truly worthy of your sacrifice. End quote. This is the time when we show up to be counted. This is the time that we support our values with our money. This is the time where we say, yes, we are a progressive, liberal religion, and it matters that we exist. This is the time that calls us to rise up as a community and shout who we are. Our new UU principle calls generosity a commitment to the spirit and gratitude and hope. I am grateful for you, and I am hopeful that we can make a difference together. Now let us go and grow that garden together. Amen.
I hope we won't mind if I ad lib. Isn't this a wonderful example of why we're a UU? She can give a sermon on Stewardship Sunday and leave us smiling. And I'd like us all to repeat after me. I will march to my computer in March. Great. And now, we'll close with a song that's familiar. It's Come Sing a Song With Me, but please follow the words on the monitors as they have slight variations from our hymnal. Thank you.
And
standing. As we close our service, please reach out to all of those beautiful people who are new. Aren't you all glad you came today? Please also give a hearty welcome to all of our new members. Our exploration activities for children and adults, including our Get to Know UUCP session, start at noon and will be on the screen following service. So now, let us grow our garden together because our generosity matters. In cultivating a world of gratitude and hope, let us recognize our interconnectedness. Please march to your computer in March and push that damn button. Go in peace and go in love.